for about a month or two afterwards.
All right. Let's see. I guess you had some more things that sort of having to do with sort of civilians and things. You've got one with, let's see, some kids at the rice patties, or...
I was going up to Ben Het, and a lot of times when we go into a base, you don't go in and just land. You go up and you circle the base first, and then some of the bases, if the place is hot enough or whatever, we'd literally do a little corkscrew in, instead of doing a long, shallow landing. And this day I came in and I circled the base, and the Montagnard kids were out on the rice paddies. And they're Montagnard kids. First off, nobody else is up there, but not a stitch on. And they got these long sticks, and they're like tapping the rice paddy dikes ahead of them. And what in the world are they doing? Now, I've seen the little kids before throw a ball into a minefield and have their dog go get the ball, and they walk where the dog went. They want to go somewhere, and this minefield's in the way. And these kids just grow up with that. And I was thinking, mines on the... But they're too close with the stick, and everything I could think of wasn't making any sense. So what are they doing? And I got in there, and I said something to the special forces that are on this base. And he says, oh, they're hunting for rats. I says, they're what? He says, they're hunting for rats. He says, when a rat runs, if they stir up a rat on the rice paddy dike, they'll beat it with that stick, and they'll pick it up and they'll pull the skin apart at the inside of the back legs, and they'll eat it raw out there on the rice paddy dike, won't bring it back. I said, you gotta be kidding me. He says, no. Well, I remember another time before this, I'd been on the same base, and I was at the mess hall, and I'm looking out the back door, and these Montagnard kids are all standing back there, but they're a good distance away from the mess hall, where there's a walkway. And unlike the kids on the street corner here, they're not grab-assing and fooling around and joking and stuff. They're just standing there like there's something really special to see at the mess hall. And I keep looking at them like, what are they doing? So finally I said something to the special forces guy in the mess hall. I said, what's with the kids? What's going on? Oh, them? Here, I'll show you. He walks out the back of the mess hall with me, and he said something to him in the Montagnard, and all you saw was butts and legs sticking out of trash cans. They were sitting there waiting for permission to get into the trash. My wife earlier was talking with us, and I made the comment that while riding through some of the Vietnamese villages and stuff where I went, on several occasions I had my chauffeur, for lack of a better term, keep asking me, you got your watch? Yeah. Ask me, you got your watch? Wait, yeah. If I ask myself, what's with this? He says, well, you slow down, you give them the kids candy. He says, they'll take the watch off your arm. I go, oh, okay. The Montagnards were just the reverse. We could literally drive a Jeep into the middle of one of their villages and leave it. I mean, we'd lose the gas can driving through these Vietnamese villages off the back of the Jeep. They used to take the gas can off before we went through and put it on the inside. Slow down, they take the gas can off the Jeep. Anyway, you drive one into a Montagnard village, you could leave it, come back a month later, they may have washed it and polished it, but it's still sitting there and nothing's removed. You tell them they can have it, and before you're through talking, the thing will be totally disassembled and gone. They know it belongs to somebody. It ain't theirs. They don't touch it. I've seen them injured, and there's an American sitting next to him, and it's monsoon, and he's shaking. And I've seen injured Montagnards lean up against the American to help keep him warm. Never asked, never nothing. And they're hurting. I've seen aircraft that, well, I mentioned going down through the Idrang Valley one day, and I was lead aircraft, a bunch of them behind me, and they got raked with 50 caliber fire. And I followed them all over to the base and that. And we're trying to get guys that are injured off the aircraft and that, and there's only, MASH is nice and everybody comes out, but when you got 4 or 5 aircraft all trying to land and people on them and you're trying to get them all off, and one Montagnard, his jaw was broken off. I mean, it's hanging down like a waddle on a turkey. He ain't even moaning. And he was more interested in trying to help a couple of his other brothers. And I don't know. I just, big difference.
Mm-hmm. You've also got something in here about a particular boy being interested in your helicopter. Was that a Montagnard or Vietnamese? Or?
Little Montagnard kid, and where he got his shirt from, I don't know. And I've got a couple pictures of him, and I had to crop them. Because from, waist down, he ain't got a thing on, but he's got a little shirt with short sleeves. And he'd come out, and he started off, he'd walk up to the edge of the helipad, and he'd just sit there and look at the aircraft. And a good share of the time when I went to that one, they wouldn't have me go outside in that, and I'd just sit on the pad. So I wouldn't tie down the rotor blades, I wouldn't do anything. And I'd normally have a book of scripture or a book I want to read in my lower part of my flight suit, and I'd pull it out, and I'd sit there and read a little bit. And this kid would come out, and I'd be watching because somebody's around the helipad, and I'd watch him. And the same kid, he'd come out, and he'd just stand there and watch. So, they come out, and he'd get close to me. He'd just sit and he'd look at my tail rotor for an hour. I don't know what. One day I picked him up, and I put him in the aircraft. He's sitting right there looking at everything. I put his hand on the stick, and he'd just look at all. I never saw anybody with such excitement over so little. Just and I've got a picture of him. Like I said, I had to crop it because waist down, not a stitch on, just shirt, bare feet, no hat, no nothing. A little ragamuffin. And I don't know his name, don't know whatever happened to him, don't even know if he survived through the siege.